Legislature. I'm Mark Blaisdell, President of the Senate. Joining me today are Senate Majority Leader Kerry Smith, House Speaker Wiley Galt, and House Majority Leader Sue Vinton, and a diverse group of our Republican caucus members from both chambers. The legislative session will be historic. We are facing the unprecedented challenge of legislating during a global pandemic, the likes of which we haven't seen in over 100 years. To have the effective legislative session the Montanans expect and deserve, and to provide options for legislators and the members of the public to safely participate in the process, we're having our first hybrid session in Montana history, with the ability to make your voice heard remotely as well as in person. This approach creates more opportunity for the public to observe and to participate in the legislative process than ever before. We encourage everyone to make their voice heard, to take safety precautions, and to work with us as we develop the policies to make the last best place even better. Grocery store workers, law enforcement officers, our dedicated healthcare professionals, and so many other Montanans have shown up and done their jobs during the pandemic. We owe it to them to show up as well, whether in person or virtually, and do our jobs too. Montanans deserve an effective legislative session, and that's exactly what Republicans are committed to deliver for them. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Majority Leader Smith.
In addition to the pandemic, the 67th legislature will be historic because for the first time in 16 years, Montana now has a Republican governor. Governor Greg Gianforte campaigned on leading Montana's comeback, invigorating our economy, creating good-paying Montana jobs, strengthening our healthcare and education systems, and protecting Montana's heritage and all of our individual rights. On November 3rd, Montana voters delivered a mandate. They elected Republicans up and down the ballot to lead the Treasure State into the future. Your Republican legislative majorities are committed to working with Governor Gianforte to deliver on that Montana mandate and pave the way to Montana's comeback. Montanans have always been diverse in our opinions, yet united in our love for our home under the big sky. Our Republican caucus is no different. Every member standing behind me brings their own perspective, informed by their experiences and the will of each of their constituents. The Republican Party is the party of individual rights, of diversity of thought, and of freedom of expression. While all of us won't agree on every single idea or every single bill this session, we are united in our common goals, in our commitment to Montanans. I'll now turn the time over to Speaker Galt to discuss Republican priorities for the upcoming session.
Thank you, Majority Leader Smith. As we open the 67th session of the Montana Legislature, I am honored that my colleagues in the House have elected me to be their Speaker. I look forward to working closely with the Senate and Governor Gianforte to fulfill the conservative mandate the voters have sent us to Helena to achieve. House Republicans are united behind our shared policy goals, which will be to create more opportunities for Montana families and businesses to succeed while reducing government overreach. The conservative majority in the House is committed to sending bills to our colleagues in the Senate and the governor's desk, which will protect Montana's checkbook, strengthen Montana's economy, protect rights and individual freedoms, guard Montana's outdoor heritage, create reliable health care options, and provide education solutions for all Montana families. Most importantly, we will accomplish this work in a safe manner. Legislative leadership has ensured that virtual participation options will be available to legislators, the media, and members of the public, and that the Capitol building will be as safe as possible for us here in person. I'm proud to be serving the session with House Majority Leader Sue Vinton from Billings, who will expand upon the House Majority's unified policy priorities. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker Galt. As the Speaker said, our constituents sent us to Helena with a conservative mandate, and House Republicans are united in fulfilling it. The House majority is as diverse as the citizens we represent. We had some of the youngest legislators in the country sworn in today, as well as some legislative veterans. We all have different skills, backgrounds, interests, and constituents, but we are unified in passing legislation under the banners that the Speaker mentioned. The conservative House majority will pass a balanced budget with no tax increases. We will grow our economy by making our state a better place to live, work, and do business. We will safeguard Montanans' personal freedoms from government intrusion. We will take action to preserve public access to public lands. We will build a stable healthcare system that Montanans can count on for the long term and provide new educational options for students and parents to achieve individual success. With a unified conservative government, the leadership of the House and Senate looks forward to working with Governor Gianforte to accomplish these priorities in the next 90 days. In the coming weeks, we look forward to announcing specific bills that leadership will be prioritizing. Thank you all for being here today. Are there questions from the media?
I have a question for any of you. You say you're committed to a safe session, but a lot of public health authorities say opting not to wear a mask is not safe fundamentally, currently in our public health crisis. While wearing a mask has been made a choice for this session, why not wear masks if you're being urged to by local and state health authorities?
Well, obviously, Montana is a diverse state with a lot of differing views in a lot of those different matters. That's why the leadership helped pass those same joint resolutions today, rules that allows each individual member to participate based on their own individual decisions. I know we both worked with the minority party to allow them to do seating charts in the Senate, especially where they could put the members based on their comfort level on where they wanted to be sat in the chambers. So those that wanted to be farther away could, recognizing the fact that we're letting our members make that individual decision themselves.
When do you expect the panel that's on one of those rules to first meet? Is that going to be this week or when do you expect that?
I believe that it will be meeting in the next couple days. We're going to be working out with staff to make sure logistics with committee room set up and so forth like that. So absolutely.
Will those be noticed?
I believe they are noticed, so our legislative services will make sure that you all know about those. They're working out. Obviously, there's some staffing limitations in the medical field. We have worked out with for testing requirements and so forth, so that there is an avenue at the clinic for members as they go through, and if they have the symptoms, where the number they'll have to call and where they go to get those. We're also working out with the local health department for contact tracers as far as what information do the senators need to make sure that they allow folks to, can tell the contact tracers so they can work through that as well.
Do you know if there's cases associated with COVID
I believe there will be a process where there will be a notification. We'll be working that out with staff to not only protect the rights of HIPAA and so forth for the members, but also to make sure that contact tracing, we can let folks that know. So.
No, I believe there's going to be unity. I mean, there's 67, and we're all very uniquely and independent-minded, and that's what makes the Republican Party such a great party, is that everyone is able to bring their own opinions to it. So we are here to allow everyone to be able to stand up and speak and let those opinions known.
And why would you, I'm just curious about that, why would you vote against the current accepting rules that would address it
We're still in the middle of trying to find a consensus, and we'll see how it goes over the next couple days once the rules meets again and discusses it more thoroughly.
I just had a question on I feel like I should know this probably, but the rules process. So it sounds like the rules committee will meet again, and then there'll be another vote in each of the respective chambers. Are joint rules or separate chambers?
There will be joint rules and separate chambers.
Okay.
since that no previous session can bind another one, so we have to start out as a new session with our own rules and get those vetted through the process.
I'm wondering, as leadership, are there specific developments in the first 2 weeks that you're watching and watching closely regulations that are moving forward?
Yeah, there is bills we're starting to watch. We're getting close. I wouldn't say that we're able to have all of the bill numbers and exact bill titles at the moment, but hopefully here pretty soon we will be able to get that out to you guys.
Has Dean Forte, or his transition staff, current staff, made clear to any of you guys that there's public priorities that we want to sign?
His team has been working diligently, putting together that list. They do have they're working on kind of a model right now. I think look forward to his team announcing their agenda. I think rolling it out later this week or so forth. I don't want to set a timeline for the administration, but I know they're working diligently as they work through the process of hiring staff and putting together the directors.
Governor Gianforte has often said that his priorities are just outlined in his comeback plan. So I'm curious in what way that aligns with your guys' priorities. You can pick out specific things from that comeback plan that, really align with what you guys are proposing as well.
Yeah, I think the big one, of course, is allowing the businesses to be able to get back to work and bounce back after this COVID. I mean, there's a lot of Montanans hurting after this, so I would say that is a shared number one priority, is going to be able to get businesses back to up and going again safely.
Does that mean like repealing restrictions on businesses, or what does that look like?
It's going to be, I would say, a combination of some tax relief and regulations.
What is the level of concern for party leadership that a legislator will get sick from the session from COVID?
I would say that leadership is concerned about every single person that might possibly contract this virus. And that's why leadership has worked so diligently to provide as many safeguards as possible, including the ability to participate remotely.
One thing I'm wondering is, we're seeing a lot of Republicans that make the choice to use their doctors hiring for Republicans to make the choice to be here. Do you feel like it's possible for legislators to be equally effective if they're not in the building? And it's in the face because
Well, absolutely. That's why we've allowed the choice. It's worked through the interim. And I'd say that each legislator has varying degrees of how it worked for them. There are some that say it worked perfectly for them. There are some that say it didn't work at all for me. And so that's once again why we went to trying to allow for a hybrid session where each member can make that individual choice. There will be many members of the minority party that, although they may not sit in the committee room or they may not be on the chamber floor, I think they will be in their offices or somewhere here in Helena working from there so that they do have that direct communication if they'd like to.